Hello there, and welcome back to the madness. Last time we left off, you may recall that we did a bit of a change here on the resource production side for resources based on geodes, as well as a small change for the resource based on electrolysis. And well, we added a few more recipes for more advanced materials, which we're gonna start using now. So the first thing we want to do is, well, we need more resources for everything. We need more resources for ores, and we need more resources for expansion. Well, the landfill itself, basically. So what I'm gonna do is the following. I'm going to consider a new location for this electrolysis area, because as it is right now, it's kind of hard to expand. Well, one option would be to improve the throughput of this belt by upgrading it to the next level, and then expand this column somewhere a bit north, and then upgrade this belt a bit, and then upgrade this splitter, and also upgrade, well, add some more chemical plants here. But, well, there's not enough space here. So for that to work, I think we're gonna have to consider changing this. Now, you may recall that it's impossible to have these chemical plants set up in such a way that they can be tightly chained, right? Something like this. So it's impossible to set them up so that they're tightly chained to create the purified water here. Because, well, at some point, one of the pipes is going to be in the way. So this, for example, would need a hydrogen input, which is kind of blocked here. So that's not cool. What we can maybe do, though, is the following. Hi, I want to copy this, and I want to check whether I can change this in such a way that it's possible to always chain these, or at least chain these well enough so it's not a problem. Right? And that blocks here, which is an indication that the gap isn't big enough. So how about a gap of 2? Now, with a gap of 2, you can see that suddenly these chemical plants and the electrolyzers match up again. Isn't that nice? So using that, we can do a bit of a change. We can move this setup to somewhere like here. And we can move these two. Well, they're gonna go there. That's what I'm gonna do. But it's a bit annoying to set up because stuff is in the way. So let's do the following. Let's drain this. Let's remove this splitter. And actually place it here. Let's remove this. Remove these inputs for all of that mess. And now that that is done, we can change this whole setup such that it's not a big mess anymore, right? That's what we want. Okay. Oh no, I should, right. So just to make sure that these still work, cool. Then I need a replacement for this setup. Isn't that nice? Okay. Trying to preserve all of the inputs, all of the fluids that are left in the pipes. Just to be safe. Removing all of this. And I know that I'm completely and utterly destroying my resource production right now. But, well, that's the price you have to pay sometimes, isn't it? Here. This is a nice replacement. Good. So. Ugh. Hi. This is a thing. And this is a thing. And now I properly deal with that thing. Isn't that nice? Good. And since I'm properly dealing with that thing, the next step is now this setup. I want to have a very small amount of stuff that's in the way. Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? Let's remove this and come on, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's as much as we had. Let's make that 5 just to, come on, just to be safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we can just connect the oxygen. And this setup is, oh no. Oh no. Fixed it. Well, found it, but no, I didn't. God damn it. So that's wrong as well. Yeah, and this breaks the production for, yeah. Okay, whatever. I want some pipes here. And then I want some power here. That way these should be working now. As soon as I include the hydrogen. And the next thing I need is to re-enable the output basically, but that's a different story entirely. So I was considering a way to set up electrode cleaning, which is available under chemical refining, in such a way that we can do the input and the output on the same side. So if we have an input here and an output there, that doesn't work. But because we need to deal with the fluids, right? If we have an input here and an output there, now that's something we can work with, because if we look at the inserters, all right, and say, hey, I want this inserter, this input, to drop to the far side, and this inserter, well, ta-da! And then we can add an electric pole here. And suddenly, this all becomes much more manageable. Who would have guessed? There we go. And that is another electric pole. And now I want the... No, I want the side of this belt to be changed. And then I just need to set up fluid output. And how am I gonna fix that? And I found that pipe, that's nice. So we have we want to be able to reuse the mineralized water in this process. So it would make sense to have the nearer one be the mineralized water. Let's do that. And the far one is water. Water. Right. So this is the output. And this is a mess. This is a horrible mess. Why have I set it up like that? Goodness gracious. Okay, sure. Let's do that. No, like this. Good. And then we can change this to be a bit less heavy on having stuff there. And remove all that. There we go. And now we can move this. And draw that belt to the side. And all of this nonsense we don't need like that. We can instead pull it through an underground pipe. Properly. Like this. And now we just need an underground belt. No, an underground belt to deal with this mess. And we're back-ish, I guess. So we should be getting some stuff here. Perfect. Perfect. I like it. So let's restore the connection to the purified water by cutting this connection for a bit and replacing it with an underground belt like that. There we go. And then we can connect these two pipes like this and this, which restores our original setup basically. And now we can scale things. Isn't that nice? There is a fluid ingredient shortage in these. Well, I couldn't tell you why, right? Couldn't tell you why. Oh yes, fluid ingredient shortage is a good moment to talk about that. Because I was made aware that I didn't actually speak to me adding a mod to this save file. So I added the mod bottleneck to this save file. There we go. This mod allows you to, well, it shows the status of a machine on the machine itself. So you can tell at a glance which machines are working, which machines are not working, and then you can look at the machine and it tells you why it doesn't work. So in this case, we're not having enough oxygen here, which is kind of to be expected to a certain extent, because oxygen is the thing that is the limiting factor here, and it's used by other processes as well, like this chemical plant, right? So that's one thing. The next thing that I have to talk about is this chaos. I don't want that chaos to continue like that. So instead I'm gonna do a small setup here, and now we have the mineralized water that was blocking these chemical plants from dealing with the electrodes, and we're putting it to use again. So that's good. Now the next step is gonna be upgrading this belt and upgrading this belt a bit. And for that, well, we need some red belt. And red belt is kind of expensive because we need a lot of steel for that. Now, luckily for us, last episode we had a slight advancement in production for certain things. So if we look at the production graph and we look at the mineral sludge, which is the thing we use to make which is the thing we use to make materials, basically. We can see that in the last 10 minutes it was a mess, which is explained by this refactoring we just did. So we get 2.5k from our geode-based process, and we used to get up to 5.9k, so that's, yeah, well, we're back to our original levels, but we could deal with more, a lot more. And to properly do that, we have to expand on our production chain, basically. And part of that production chain is this splitter, which we're now going to use to prioritize the slag going into our resource generation setup before we can get to dealing with upgrading the transport belt. Right? So, the nice thing about this setup is that the output is already basically balanced. Why is this mineralized water? Ah, yes. Forgot a pipe. Well, missed a pipe. Okay. Thank you, bottleneck. Right. So that should help. And it will also allow us to seamlessly scale our washing. Cleaning, not washing, cleaning. Cool. So, next steps next. We basically want this output to be working as a yellow belt from half of the mess onwards. And I wonder whether I can set this up in such a way that it doesn't do this mess. This is 2 and this is another 2. So the connection length of an underground belt, a yellow underground belt, is 5, which is not helpful because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means that I can't connect a belt here to a belt there. Right? So in other words, I can't connect the belt here to a belt there, which is just beyond what I need. There is a fix for that though, which is a bit of an ugly hack, but hey, that's what we're here for, right? Ugly hacks, that's what we like. Well, we don't, but I guess that's what you'll get. Welcome to Ugly Hackland. Ta-da! It works. I'm not proud of it, but it works. And maybe that's enough. Maybe. So we need another underground belt here. There we go. And it goes like this. Oh. Like this. And then we can deal with the input here. Cool. Need more transport belts. And also need more transport belts. Surprise! The primary thing we need for that is actually tin. Because we need a lot of yellow belt for this setup. Not just a lot of red belt. So we need 1 red splitter to handle the input properly. And a lot of other red splitters. No. A lot of yellow belts. And apparently the issue is actually that I don't have enough iron for iron gear wheels, which I should rectify. Cool. So here we have some fast transport belts, which is nice and all, but it isn't good enough. Is it though? Right. So what we need is to upgrade this just a bit. Like, yeah, I want to upgrade this a bit further actually. Like at least to here. At least. If not more. Theoretically we want at least half of the column to be upgraded to red. Because otherwise things won't work the way they need to. Okay. Then I need to upgrade this underground belt and this underground belt. And then I need more iron gears to upgrade these gray belts to yellow. Cool. I haven't forgotten that I wanted to upgrade the inserters along the train lines, along the train stations, but that needs materials, and I don't have materials right now, so that's the more pressing matter. And I don't have any oxygen here, which is a pain. Hey, oxygen. You come from here. Yes, do you? You do. Now, why is there so little oxygen here? I think I may have to add a pump here. Ugh. But then I'm not gonna handle this properly. Yeah, the problem here is the hydrogen sulfide gas, so that's not gonna be an issue. Okay. Do I have a pump? Is the interesting question. Let's see. I don't. I can build one. It's not that hard. Okay. Those are clean electrodes. That's nice. I want this and the pump I just built. Where'd it go? Ugh. Things you need. There it went. Okay. There. Now that should help with the processing of steel. Hi. Give me yellow belt up to here. That's actually not necessary like that. Okay, cool. And now we're starting to hit the second part of the problem, which is scaling this mess, right? And I just removed those last episode, but, well, such is life sometimes. And I think I only have 3 electrolyzer 2s, which is not enough. I need 4. And those are under chemical refining. Petrochemical. No. Petrochemical refining. 1, 2, 3, 4, and some power. And it's nice if the power actually does something. Isn't it? Ugh. 1, 2, 3, and another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, now I need pipes. Like just straight up pipes. Cool. Grabbing some materials it is. So here we find a partially upgraded belt. Thank you kindly. No, I actually, ugh. Come on. Put that in there, I don't care. Good. Now please make me some copper plates. Because I want to continue using copper pipes for now. Copper plates. Thank you. Cool. Right. More better belts. And more belts actually. Just to be safe. Let's take a look. No, the actual current issue is pipes, right? I literally just did that. The issue was pipes. Right. So let's just set in the underground pipes. Right. So I just need a lot of pipes now. Hey, one last copper plate for some pipes. Cool. And then we also need some red belts, which we can actually craft now. And the limiting factor is now steel, which was problematic because of the oxygen, because, yeah, and it's still a problem. Ugh. I hope that fixes itself. And apparently copper is an issue. I recall something like that from last episode. I hope you do as well. Oh dear. Okay, come on, give me that. And that. I have 4,000 landfill. What from? Didn't do anything. Well, either way, let's just try to enable these. Yes. Okay. That is great. Now, in theory, this one should start hitting... No, it doesn't, because the belt there is already red. Isn't that nice? Okay. I do have a red splitter for this. So now I can actually handle the red belt that's coming in there. And these aren't quick enough. Which is not that surprising, to be quite honest. Right, so we need more pipes. And that's one. And ugh. And 2. And 3. And a copper pipe. And 4. And those copper pipes, I need some more. Right. So research. Advanced bronze. I mean, we don't have any nickel production yet, but it's a thing. Stack inserter capacity. Hey, old friend. Now we do have stack inserters, and it's looking to be useful to use those. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 inserters. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. As well as some belts. Thank you. And some more belts. Thank you. And some power. And 2 chemical plants, which are under petrochemical refining. 1, 2. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, I kind of need to properly deal with the fact that these are sucking up all the purified, all the oxygen out of this process to do the cleaning, which is not helpful because we need the oxygen for steel and we need the steel for scaling the process. Ugh. Helpful things are helpful, I guess. Yes, 1, 2. And this one, of course, won't work, and this one won't either because I don't have enough copper to make the copper pipes. Ugh. I don't like this at all. And I'd like to know why the copper plate production is such a mess. Well, the copper ore production probably. That's the whole point of this. Hi, can I have some copper pipes, please? 15, I guess. A number. Just a number. And let's fix the output and then check whether we can probably deal with that. Right. Okay. And that. And now everything seems to be working. Now let's look at this setup here. We want... yeah, copper needs Crotinium. And that needs... oh boy. Okay. At least those are outputting stuff. Sometimes they seem to be working. There seems to be a fairly high throughput of materials here. Hampered by this belt in particular. No, actually... I guess it's time to fix the spaghetti. Ugh. I mean... I could do worse things, right? Let's go fix the spaghetti. Hi. Can I have this set up? And I need 2 belts. 1, 2. Should go here. This is now in the way. Extraordinarily. That's fixed. Ugh. Actually, I have ore crushers that do this. That's good. And then I need this setup. That won't work. Right. Right. Let's remove this. Put the ammonium back in here. And remove this cable to drain that output. Trying to make it work through the quote-unquote natural process of the process or something like that. And then this is empty, nice. This is empty and this is not, but that's also a very quickly solved issue. Okay, so that works. Now we need to deal with the fact that this has an output, right? Like here, and stuff comes out. And it has to pass through. Oh no. Oh no. Right. And I don't have a green wire. I need a green wire. I probably actually need more green wires, but that's doable. Yeah, I need at least 3 more green wires, I think. Even if I didn't, I probably need even more green wires, but that's not the point here. The point here is that I need to move this splitter. That's the point here. Hi, you there need to be after this input, right? That's where it is. Yes. God damn it. Right, okay. That works. Ish. No, it doesn't. I was too quick on the draw. This needs to go even one step further. Okay. Because this setup here, output to the left, Bobmonium ore. There we go. And we need this setup. Thank you, stack inserter capacity. Let's just do that again, I guess. That seems reasonable. Okay. Now we need a setup that matches the other setups, and then we have this, and then we have a power pole here, and a power pole here and there, and those two, which we didn't have before. Right. And that is a bit of belt, and this is a bit of thingy. And this is where the wires are connected. And then I need a setup for that belt there, which is gonna have to go through here. Hi, would you kindly? Thank you very much. And you don't do that, because you don't need to anymore. What you need to do is the following. And that gets me enough belt to do this, and then this, and that should work. And now I need to add Bobmonium here. Bobmonium. 200. Those will go into that chest. And those are... Oh, it works. Yes. Isn't that nice? Now, that is where the thing is still a mess. Hi. Yeah. Goes like this, does this, and this. And actually I could use the crappy belts here, but I won't bother. I won't bother. Right. So that works just fine. One option, of course, would be to... Oh, and I need to do the output limiting. Hi. Yes. If we want crushed Bobmonium. Right? Yeah. Which we apparently do not. I couldn't tell you why, right? We just have 2.1k crushed Bobmonium here. I couldn't tell you why we don't want more. Well, that's exactly why we don't want more, but you get the joke. And there is an option to do that. Nah. Spaghetti fixed. Let's declare it as that. Here's some crotinium ore, which I picked up. It goes in there. And here's some crushed sapphirite, which goes in there. So that's that, I guess. And now the issue seems to be fixed. Okay. Let's see, have we gotten some copper? Seems like we haven't, actually. What's with the crotinium? 912. Ugh. Hey, crotinium thingy, how much did you do? 15,000. 18,000, 16,000. Yeah, the issue with the Crotinium is that it's the last thing to receive. To receive sludge. And that setup doesn't help. Actually, where we need the pump is here, right? So let's put it there. Let's just put it there. Alright. And this one didn't actually need the pump. At least that's what I'm gonna tell myself. Right? So hopefully that will make sure we're getting some more Crotinium. It's kind of the last thing that gets stuff, either way. Okay. Good. Now, there was that idea of reusing that mineralized water. And I wonder how I should go about that. So the easiest solution and the most obvious one would be to pull this pipe down here somewhere and just move it through this whole mess in some fashion to get it over there. Another option would be, of course, to try to sneak it through here, which is entirely plausible, actually. Hey, what? How long would I? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that, especially. So we're basically too short. So what we need is some place where there's a hole in the belt and we can actually sneak it through. No, that's not a good spot. That isn't a good spot. This would be a better spot because we could just pull in an underground belt there. And then we could pull... Yeah, that easily works. Easily reaches. So what we need is something like... No, wait. Something like this for a setup. There we go. And then we can pull a pipe through here with a bit of shenaniganery. Such a nice word. And some more shenaniganery, actually. Overflow valve, right? So this is an overflow valve. And we need it to overflow into this direction. And can I just have that as a thing? Good. And that's actually a pretty nice height for the pipe that goes through here. Oh boy, yeah, that was closer than I'd like. If I do this, no, that won't work. This will work. Why aren't these sure? Okay. Move up there, will ya? Have some charcoal. Have some charcoal, actually. There we go. And that is very reasonable. Ugh. Come on. Give me a pipe. There we go. And another pipe. There we go. There is an argument to be made for putting in a pump somewhere along those lines to avoid this mineralized water being distributed over a large area. Let's actually do that. Fluid control. I don't have a steel plate. Sure. Okay. And then there is another argument to be made for forcing a pump into here. So I actually need 2 pumps, and therefore I need 2 steel plates, and I have some steel plates. Isn't that nice? Okay. That means that the oxygen is actually working again, which is good. Okay. So I want to pump here to push the mineralized water up north to avoid the overflow mineralized water being used in this crystallizer. But that doesn't work. No. Ooh. How ugly. So this crystallizer is dealing with excess mineralized water coming from there. 202 seconds. And should all the mineralized water here be used? We're making 10 mineralized water per second here, with the crafting speed of almost 2, so basically 20. And that's 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. Okay. And this needs 200 in 2 seconds, so that's actually exceeding the capacity of a single... You know what? Let's just not have that. Let's just remove that. Right? Remove the whole concept of this waste of mineralized water, basically. And instead, let's just keep a single pump. That's so much less effort. So much less effort. Right? So... Hi. That seems to be a good spot for a pump. That pump is here. There you go. And that way we shouldn't block all the other things. And we should instead get a very nice supply of mineralized water here. Which in turn should allow us to make some more landfill, actually. Which is kind of the whole point of this exercise, right? That's a nice amount of landfill, actually. Okay. Let's see, do we have some more here? We do. I like it. And we also have some over here, right? Even though we preferably output the slag into this production, it's just this filtering it just straight up can't keep up with the possible filtering that we could be doing. It's just not scaled enough. Actually, I think we have better filtration units, right? No, we don't. Ugh. What a mess. Okay. Cool. Cool. So let's look at our production figures now. If we check with ore, right? Like over the last hour, and why is that? No. Ugh. Let's make that simpler. We check for sludge. Hello, sludge. In the last 10 hours. Now look at that. This is better. Better. So we actually have improved our throughput. Let's look at the production of slag. And I really want to look at only slag, and that seems to have improved as well. But we had more production back when we had 2 columns, right? This was the 2-column design, and then we collapsed it into a single column. That was the change with moving the washing, cleaning, and consumption died with it, basically. And if we remove the slag, we can see that there's a lot of weird stuff. It kind of depends on the slag. Apparently, sacrificial electromagnets. Is that the thing that's... Yeah. Oh, that's crushed saphirite. Interesting. Whatever. So... if we get around to it, and I hope we do, the next episode should be about adding some more electrolyzer electrodes here to make use of, well, to make full use of the electrolyzers up there. Look at that, that's a lot of sulfuric wastewater. Apparently, this oil area doesn't process a lot of sulfuric wastewater, which is kind of to be expected. It's just the bare bones minimum setup. Oh, and the raw gas is almost full. So that's something I'll have to take care of soon. Same thing actually goes for the fuel oil and the base mineral oil. So there's a few things we need to take care of. But that's... oh, look at that. Oi! Provider, plastic from oil. And I know it's only plastic right now, so that's why I'm calling it that. Okay, okay. So to close this episode off, I'm just gonna, well, try to finish off this city block in a way by finishing off the rails around the city block. It's not remotely gonna work because I don't have anywhere near enough landfill on me, but it's hopefully gonna be a start, right? We basically need 1,000 landfill per chunk, and I had 6,500 landfill on me, which is exactly enough for one side. And because parts of this side were already done, we're gonna have a bit of landfill left over, but that shan't stop us from finishing the episode when the landfill runs out, basically. Well, we could actually start making some rails and putting them down, or at least putting some blueprints down, because I'm gonna need some resource refining soon, which is going to be interesting because some of the resource refining we can do to get better ores, which we can then turn into better metals, which we can then turn into, well, better materials. Those will need sulfuric acid and some other acids, which is going to be interesting. And they will have geodes as a side product. So that's also something that we're going to have to take a look at soon. Very soon. Not this episode, but soon. We're also going to have to do a bit of cleanup around this city block, if only to enable running trains all around it. So these biters are probably gonna have to be gotten rid of, as do these biters. Probably, not sure. But before we can do that, we have to have some more landfill. And that's kind of what we're semi-waiting on. We still can and should and need to expand the production of slag, which will help with the production of landfill, incidentally. See, there's basically nothing that's been created here, because most of it goes into this setup and just the bare minimum comes through here. That already ran 200 times, and yeah, okay. The oxygen just didn't run at all yet, which is kind of to be expected because we're using up the oxygen for more different things, even though theoretically the process generates an excess of oxygen if you use it all to make purified water to do the washing. But the oxygen is also used for sulfur dioxide and for sulfur itself, and for steel and for lead and for various other things. So yeah. With that, ooh, interesting. This seems to be running out. Sure. Gotta take a look at that somewhen. Not now, not today, not next episode, definitely not. Possibly the episode after that, but who knows? We shall see. Now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'm gonna leave a tag for me actually. More electrodes, because that is the thing that's holding our slag process back. That is truly the thing. Let's see. Tyanaton. More Tyanaton. Really? No. More use for charcoal, I think. More users of charcoal. Something we might want to... we need to take a look at is... Yeah, okay, sure, never mind. Power is doing just fine. The train station inserters, that's a thing. Circuit production, nah, that's really not what's holding us back. The true thing holding us back is that we're using crappy materials and we have a crappy throughput for those crappy materials. So we need straight up more slag, more geode washing, more geode refining. There is a different version of this process which just dissolves the geodes directly to obtain this crystal slurry. But that's not quite as easy to balance out, because you still need the mineralized water. But I'm digressing, going on a tangent, I guess. And before I go on too much of a tangent, I shall say see you next time.